Welcome to a reading. Let's see what comes through when you click on this video. What it is you need to know for your highest good. When it finds you, or you click on it, or you're drawn to it. Doesn't matter, you're here for a reason. So let's see what the transmission is for you today. What it is you need to know for your highest good. Can I get a spread, please? So I forgot to do something, 1 sec. Okay. So what's going on? Similar cards to just the my most recent Patreon reading. If you're on Patreon, it's the Libra. Limitations around your heart's desires, which could be a bit of a sequel to the last YouTube reading, which was your heart is screaming at you, why you're not listening. So they're a little bit intertwined, or a lot intertwined. I'm just going to read to you what I can pick up on, because there's a sense of urgency when it comes to, I'm not sure whether this is a connection or whether this is someone that feels a sense of urgency when it comes to connection with you. I'm hearing both ways. Can you clarify the Five of Swords? That's the underlying energy. So that's like, in a conflict. So it does, if you're on Patreon, or you want to become a member, or you want to you can also just buy single readings. What is connected to this reading is the Libra reading, limitations around your heart's desires, and what also can be very helpful is the Virgo reading, tapping into suppressed desires. Because what is showing up in this reading is there's inner conflict, and it's clarified by the Magician. So this as well is an energy of going against what you ultimately wish for and desire. So specifically here, it seems to be connected to a person. The both of you are showing up as having a bit of resistance towards each other, but as well a massive pull. So that then can manifest as push and pull. It's like, I want you, but also resisting what it's bringing up, because it seems to be bringing up a lot for you to even feel a sense of urgency to, I don't know what you want to do here. Kiss, nog, make out, merge fully, tumble, rumble. I don't know what you want to, like, where the sense of urgency is coming from, but it is connected to desires, your heart's desires. Like, if you meet someone, or someone meets you, and you're somewhat what they wished for, what they had hoped for, of course that's going to stir shit up. Question is, what are you going to make out of it? Are you going to let it pass you by because of fears and limitations, which, you know, can happen? Sometimes it's scary, or a lot of times it's scary to actually receive what you ultimately have been wishing for, have been desiring, whether you're aware of this or not. Sometimes you'll manifest. This just happened to me recently. You manifest something and you didn't even know, like, I wasn't consciously aware that it's exactly what I needed and wanted, and it just popped up. So that as well was showing me, or shows me, what I have channeled before, and it's just confirmation that you do tend to manifest on autopilot, depending where your dominant thoughts go to. So you don't always have to be fully aware of the full structure and template of what you want. Like, the universe, the higher powers, the most high, still can pick up on your signal when it's strong. So I'm hearing here specifically the resistance is actually making the signal stronger, because what you're resisting just kind of, the energy still needs to go somewhere, so it just amplifies the hidden or suppressed desires, or what in this case someone is trying to hide to some degree, or if it's not hiding, at least like battling it, you know, like this is very coded. It's reminding me of, for some reason I just got like an image of, is it Brooklyn? There's this series, Brooklyn 95 something, and there's this woman, I forgot her name, Diaz. I got like a ping of her relationship with that guy. Don't ask me what the guy's name is, but they're very they have this dynamic as well. It, at least at the beginning, until it diffuses. So this, what I'm picking up on here, could be like the beginning, you know, when you catch someone's eye, someone catches your eye, or could be long standing as well, as I'm hearing, if you have had like a friend or someone sees you as a friend and there hasn't been any real hints, but underneath there's like this massive wave of desire. So some can go about this for years, apparently. I don't know how you do it, but that's just how I'm picking up on this. There's some of you can hold it down for years without it tipping over. I'm also hearing marriage teaches you this, because of course when you're married it would make sense. So I could be talking to someone who's married as well, who's like mastered this, that there's desire sometimes that you cannot act on, whether this is like a work colleague or someone at work, where you just learn to, you know, you're still gonna feel it, but you learn to not act on it. But this is exactly the conflict I'm picking up on. Someone here seems to be unsure whether they should act on it or if they should let it diffuse and fall away. So that brings up the question, again with the Knight of Swords, like there is this feeling I'm picking up on of like now or never. It's now, you know, now's the moment. Especially if you're like not married or don't have any commitments of that sort, where you couldn't allow it, or you couldn't surrender it, unless you're making up excuses, which is also very common for Five of Swords, when the conflict comes from internal structures, which again brings me to the Patreon reading, limitations around your heart's desires, limiting beliefs around your heart's desires. I'm going to move along the spread. Can you clarify this, please? Yeah, specifically, there's an energy coming through of someone who somewhat has it all. Like, I'm getting, if you would tell me, or if you would count it down, or you may be someone as well who does this often. You write in, I'm seeing like a gratitude book. You know, having a mindset of gratitude. There's a sense of you being able to multiply, or have been able to multiply certain manifestations because you're grateful. You're grateful for your life. You're grateful for your body. You're grateful for the way God built you. There's a sense of having it all, but there's one cup missing. And when I tap into that, it's clarified by the Devil and the Tower. So this is where it gets interesting, because what I see unfolding here is a situation where your suppressed desires, that cup, so it could be that this is part of the conflict, or even a limitation, as paradox as it sounds, because if you have an attitude of gratitude, you wouldn't think that you limit yourself, but you can when you don't. I'm hearing like not allowing yourself to have, like, I'm hearing it as an excuse, for example, when you can feel you want something else, or you want something more, desire is coming up, a desire is pinging that just wants to be acknowledged. A part of blocking it can be through, oh, but what I have enough. I'm learning here as well as I go, like, I channel messages that even when I look back, or if I feel guided to watch it back, because I learn as well every day. This for me is new information. I never thought of it from this angle, but there is, I'm hearing spiritual bypassing is part of this, when you just go, oh, all is good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Look at my life's fantastic, which it may be, I'm not saying it's not, but you can still bypass. Here it's the devil is full on spread out in your reading, so there is something that is hidden that can, this is as well where anything that's hidden and suppressed can turn into obsession. And this is where it's so important and so simple to just acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge how you're feeling. Like, that's why a lot of people, even therapists, bang on about having a freaking journal on you. So at least it's out on paper, and at least you, if other people cannot, or if other people are, like, I'm even hearing, how do you expect other people to acknowledge your wishes and desires if you don't acknowledge them yourself? It's the same principle of how do you expect another person to love you if you don't love yourself? I know it's harsh, or it can sound harsh, and it's also a little bit simplified, because a lot of people get into relationships or have someone love on them, or like, but that, when they don't love themselves, but that is where there's a tendency of it turning codependent. And here, as you know, if you've read the description as well, this is about, the work here is about becoming sovereign, becoming a sovereign being. So there's not going to be any codependent stuff that I'll be channeling. And if I do channel it, it's because it's within the collective, and that's a stream that's coming through. But ultimately, it will be to shift and move out of that, which is not easy either. It can take time, can take years, but that's why we're doing these readings, and we just see where we get to. What I do see, which is good, is that there's a turnaround when it comes to outpouring your resources, your time, your energy. It looks like it's pouring into yourself right now. And that makes you I'm hearing that makes you a solid partner. If you have that capacity where you've already moved past needing everyone and the mother and the grandmother to validate you and validate your experience, hoping, wishing, needing them to validate your feelings, and like, having moved past that, the way I see here, puts you in a different spot when it comes to attracting, or some of you have already attracted. That's why we talked about the sense of urgency, where there's mutual desire, but without the neediness and without the codependency. So I just heard this is high level, like this is a relationship that would be rooted and could be rooted in mutual desire without the karmic sludge and baggage that can muck it up. And or you just both know how to work through it without needing to pull the other person into a freaking storm, and without needing them to do this and that and that and that and that for you. Because if they don't love you. Like, whoever this reading is for, you're past that by the looks of it. So again, there's just this one cup that seems to be missing. Like, you seem to be on an amazing path, and when I say that, I have the Eight of Wands come out. So they're confirming that you're actually, you know, on a straight line. You're in alignment. The only even this is what I was saying, where it gets interesting, because I'm picking up on a mirror, whether this is a person you meet, whether this is a person you've already met, whether this is, you know, these readings can also act as a mirror. There's a situation or there's an occurrence where you literally get a wake-up call that brings up certain suppressed and hidden desires. A lot of the times, for a lot of you, it will be a person. So this is where I need to double back, I'm hearing, because if there is, or there may even be still karmic sludge to work through, but this is as well where it's a different energy, you know, like they want me to explain that karmic sludge doesn't mean that the relationship is not good, or that there's something wrong with you, or that you're like failing, or that you're like back, you know, like that you have been kept back. What I just heard is more the approach of it is very different than if the Six of Pentacles was upright and you'd rush in. For example, this would then be an energy of your partner going through something and you rushing in to fix them, and you think you need to basically do the work for them. It's the same with one-on-one sessions. I have to vet people at times, or vet them. I will just call them out if you book in, and I can feel and I can pick up that there's a hidden expectation of me doing the emotional work for you and carrying the emotional labor of me, an expectation of me fixing you. You know, I'm gonna have to set the record straight, and I will do, because like I already said, the way I've gotten initiated to even be allowed to do the sessions and hold the space for you is not, there's not going to be a codependent relationship. Like, I will hold you accountable. And that is the relationship that is coming through here as well. That's the dynamic that is coming through here as well. Not fixing, not fixing, and taking on someone else's emotional burdens, but still simultaneously, you know, holding space for someone, whether this is you as well, maybe a therapist, or you may do work like this, or you may hold space as a teacher. You know, there's different ways you hold space for people. If you can learn to do it in a way where you don't take on the emotional burdens and the sludge, which you also like, you learn to set boundaries. Also something I got trained to the T, because I would get burnt out, you know, and that's my own programming, and that I also had to work through, but I can't talk about it in this way, because where you're at, you know, there's a lot of fun. These types of relationships that, again, either you're already in it, or you've attracted someone, or like whatever is coming for you in form of relationship and partnerships, from the state of being you're at, which we just touched upon, there's a lot more room and space for fun, is what I just heard. And I'm hearing letting each other be, and this is where, for some reason, I'm picking up on someone. I don't know if this is specific or the collective energy I'm reading for in itself. I'm picking up there's a bit of fear of losing yourself within a relationship, and that can be some residue of having had codependent relationships, or that having been your norm. So this again is where you may be fighting yourself. That brings me back, because I'm staring at the Five of Swords. If there's residue or fear of like, oh my god, I know what relationships are like, I've lived them, it was freaking hell, I had to do the whole work, I was carrying the emotional labor, like, no thanks. the template, you still have a desire for a relationship, is what I just heard. You can fight me on it. If you're like, no, I want to die alone, like that's gonna, I'd rather have it that way. Okay, but I literally heard that you still want a relationship. What was missing, or what is now happening, is you're being fine-tuned to what type it is that you want. And I'm hearing it's coming as a surprise as well with the Tower. So this as well can be literally getting smacked in the face, meeting someone, falling head over heels, having all these feelings getting stirred up of like family, marriage, children, and it being an absolute like, yeah, surprise. Because you may have gone years with thinking, no, that's not gonna happen. So this as well just wraps it up really nicely and just shows how hidden desires, whether you suppress them or not, they can and will come up eventually. Question is, what are you gonna do with it when it comes up? Are you gonna be like, whoa, nope, too much, feeling too much, don't want that. Oh, remember what happened last time when you felt this? No, I'm not gonna do that again. You don't allow yourself to witness your own growth, is what I'm just hearing when you do that. Because even if you have experienced massive misalignment within a relationship, specific relationship or specific relationships that were rooted in you having to overextend, overgive, getting used, or what felt like used, it comes in different shapes and forms. You will know best what has contributed to you having a state of like, nah, I don't want to get into. And I'm just gonna me, myself, and I, So the template is shifting, and that can be, it can of course at the beginning bring up conflict, because you may really have had your mind and even your heart set on a way of living or a life. And this is where it can be a shocker when someone literally walks in and acts as a mirror to your hidden suppressed desires. They come up, there's no way bottling them down, because they're already up to the surface. Again, in the Patreon readings, they showed me visions of, a champagne bottle, that the cork, when too much pressure builds, the cork just pops. So that can be used here as well for reference. But I'm gonna leave this open-ended, because I keep hearing, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with what it brings up for you? So we can leave it at that. Apparently, we can wrap it up for now. We'll see in the coming days what else comes through. So feel free to stick around. I have everything linked below if you want to join Patreon, if you want to book for one-on-one personal readings. Just head into the description box. All right, much love.